Hi, cybersecurity professionals. Today, I'll be starting a new topic for our learning. I'll be going through data privacy in IT project management. There will be a lot of different sharing throughout this channel, so everyone will be able to gear themselves up to be a fully competent as a cybersecurity professionals. And remember, our objective is to gear everyone up to be cybersecurity professionals or learn tricks and tips to keep yourself safe from cyber attacks. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for the support and encouragement given to me throughout the time, and your participation to stay active with this channel. Do keep the support coming by subscribing to this channel, like, comment, and share it around. Previously, we have learned and shared about cybersecurity awareness and getting into ethical hacking. And moving on next, I'll be sharing about data privacy in IT project management. The key and end objective of a cybersecurity professionals are to protect and ensure that data is safe and protected when they are in use, in transit, and storage. In the business environment, data are retrieved, shared, and analyzed either from an internal or external source. Such data are used to improve employee engagement, increase employee productivity, improves interdepartmental communications, improves knowledge sharing efforts, improves customer satisfaction and retention, and build a better company culture. So let's prepare ourselves for the new knowledge of data privacy. But before we jump into today's sharing, I would like to take this opportunity to give a quick introduction about myself. This is for you to know me better. I am Dr. Tan Kian Hua, and I'm part of the prestigious Leaks lecture team and serve as an adjunct professor of management, international business, and cybersecurity. I'm the school lead lecturer for cybersecurity, designing the cybersecurity course material and content for their lesson. I am also part of the mentoring team with Cybri. Being the assistant mentor with Cybri, I help to mentor IT, information technology, and cybersecurity professionals in their community. As their assistant mentor, I provide a career guide, clearing those professionals' technical inquiries and helping them to review resumes and candidates for their potential hire. I'm not sure if you have heard about Cybri. If you have not heard about them, just a quick background on who they are. Cybri builds its presence over the internet, and they are an online community that provides free and paid IT and cybersecurity courses for anyone keen to learn or upgrade their skills in their free time. They provide mentorship support with a hacking laboratory for their paid members. And as of today, they are having more than 2 million active members globally. As for my full-time job, I am the principal consultant engaged by numerous companies to serve as their virtual Chief Information Security Officer, the CISO in short. My main duty will be to advise on their local and overseas offices, operations across the Asia-Pacific region. During the pandemic last year, my company was engaged by China, Hong Kong, and Korea company as their cybersecurity and data privacy consultants. If you are keen to find out more about what is a Virtual Chief Information Security Officer, VCISO in short, do look out for my other videos on cybersecurity you'll be able to learn more and gear yourself up to be a cybersecurity specialist. In terms of personal data protection, I am a seasoned data privacy advisor and serve as an advisor in data privacy for system integrators to fine-tune their cybersecurity and data privacy framework and to enhance their internal policy. Some of the professional certifications which I hold are CIPPUS, Certified Information Privacy Professional, United States. This is one of the gold-plated data privacy certifications that certified that the individual has obtained top-tier management and strategy level in the data privacy industry. This is one of the recognized professional certifications when it comes to data privacy. CIPM, Certified Information Privacy Manager. The CIPM designations says that you are leader in privacy program administrator and that you have got the knowledge to establish, maintain, and manage a privacy program across all stages of its life cycle. CISM, Certified Information Security Manager. This is also another gold-plated cybersecurity certifications that certify that the individual has obtained top-tier management and strategy level in the cybersecurity industry. This is one of the recognized professional certifications when it comes to cybersecurity. CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor. By the name, we will be able to tell that a professionals holding on to these certifications can audit the information system. This is getting more popular as people are more concerned with data protections, and auditing is part of the scope. CDPSC, Certified Data Privacy Solution Engineer. A data privacy certifications that define the ability of the professional to design and protect personal or company data. As I always like to say, you will be able to better protect yourself if you know the strategy of the attacker or hacker. Therefore, I have equipped myself with CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker. Not forgetting my ABDP, Advanced Big Data Professional certifications. Understanding big data is a must in today's environment. Big data is everywhere. Even for ethical hacking, you also require the knowledge of big data to ensure a smooth and successful process. And I also like to share my newly published book with a Russian professor, Professor Vladimir. This book, all I would like to say, is an excellent example of synergy between professionals of two generations in creative cooperation between analyzing the transformations of information and communications technologies. Such intellectually valued products, as demonstrated in the cybersecurity as a phishing game book, can be effectively used by professionals in most industries and people with no age or culture difference. Because there's so massive coverage of the ICT facilities worldwide and such importance of security purpose for human and business society in nowadays. And also, this book will be converted into an audiobook and is certified as the world first audiobook that share about cybersecurity. Today, we'll be going through the data privacy contents. Why does privacy matter? We will find out the importance of data privacy. Impact on individual. Why does privacy matters to you? What project manager should know? As a project manager, how does data privacy help in their job? Top 5 security concerns. We'll go through the 5 concerns which will affect the project manager. 10 data security measures every project manager must implement. How thinking about data protection can reduce project costs. And lastly, I'll be sharing how to up your career in data privacy. I'll share with you some tips on how you can up your level in your data privacy game. When we share data privacy in IT project management, we need to understand why data privacy matters over here. Firstly, data privacy is closely linked to compliance and legal risks. Every country will have its data privacy regulations. And if you are having business engagements with European companies, the project manager will need to take note of GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations. GDPR is a regulations in EU law on data protections and privacy in the European Union. It addresses the transfer of personal data outside the EU areas. GDPR primary aims is to give individuals control over their data and to simplify the regulatory environment for international business by unifying the regulations between the EU. Privacy is fundamental, both a compliance and legal matter, and is also a serious risk management issue. In today's environment, data is king. In today's business world, companies are fighting for customers, and whoever holds the most customer data is considered to have half the battle won. Of course, the company needs to have a strong customer relationship team to manage that. When I talk about customer data, I'm also referring to the internal customers, which are your colleagues and colleagues from other departments. Imagine if any of this data got leaked out. The company will need to spend time and effort and sometimes financial resources to maintain and retain customers. Remember, the key phrase will be every data counts. What is worth more than reputation of the company? Many times, I've heard the CEO of the companies telling me that when there's a data breach or if there's a cyber attack happen in their company, it's fine for them. The worst that can happen will be to start all over again. Any administrative works can be easily replaced with paper and pen. A lost customer can be easily won back by their sales team. But the need to understand here is that once the reputation is gone, it is harder to restore than you can think of. It's not about moving back to square one or back to square zero. But now we are on -2 or -10 squares back. You will need to move from the negative steps to be back to square one. The process will take time, human resources, and money. And while you are building up and moving back to your square one, your competitors will have already moved on and be way ahead of you in the race. Such reputational and political harms can be significant. The project manager will need to know the impact it has on the individual and company. if data is leaked out, especially when the data leak out from the projects they are in charge of. Let us now go through the impact it has on the individual when data privacy is not managed well. It will harm the mental, physical, economical, or social well-being of the individual to whom the data relates. Reputational damage will be the main issue. Not only the company reputation will be affected, but the reputation of the individual will be affected as well. This can be customer information, and leak out information can be private and confidential. It can be customers' health records or information which will affect their reputation. For example, it can be their criminal record. The leak out information can cause the individual to be humiliated. This example can be clearly explained in my next cyberbully topic discussion. There are numerous ways in which an individual can be humiliated once the bully gets hold of their data. Cyberbully will be a hot topic, as some cyberbully will cross the line and perform unlawful or criminal behavior act. Cyberbully can transform into cybercrime and can result in jail terms, fine, or even a loss of innocent life. It will be a bonus if the project manager knows about cyberbully and know how to handle that. Employability can be classified into two aspects. For the project manager managing the projects, if the project failed and was called off due to a data privacy issue, the project manager will have his career affected, and if they are blacklisted under their industry, he will not be able to get a job or will be out of their career soon. In another view, the person whose data got leaked out might face unemployment issue if the leaked out data consists of bad records of theirs. Finally, with all the impacts summed up, we can view this as a security risk. If the project manager suspects there is an issue with the data or system, it is a must for them to report immediately. The status of data can be classified and identified into three stages. These are data at rest, data in motion, and data in use. I'll give you a quick sharing of the common methods of how to protect data at the three stages. Data at rest is protected by encryptions. Data in motion will be protected by SSH, Secure Shell, to establish a secure platform between points A and B. And lastly, data in use can be protected through a privacy screen protector, where they are unable to see your screen using social engineering methods. If you are keen to learn more about these three methods, you can always reach out to me or my other webinar. There's also a webinar on cybersecurity awareness course. They will inform you how to improve this posture. The project manager of the past will ensure smooth planning and budgeting of the project. The project manager's main scope will be to manage time and save costs, and not to forego quality, communications, and change management. The skilled project manager is always a master of change management and ensuring the humanware, which is human resources, are well managed. In this new era, what is needed is an environment where protecting employees and clients' privacy is top of the mind for every new project or program. For significant changes to an existing business or IT programs, and for every employee whenever handling personal information, project managers have a key role to play in helping their organizations identify, mitigate, and manage privacy risks for each new project, program, service, and/or systems by incorporating privacy by design concepts and privacy risk management tools into the project management life cycle. They need to have the know-how in privacy management and how to embed privacy into project management to lower risk and increase project success. On top of managing the data and humanware, the project manager also needs to have high engagement with project management software. Project management software includes security features that protect the safety and integrity of the data for only approved users to gain access. The security settings must be flexible and customizable enough that the project manager can align them with companies' security procedures, processes, and protocols, but robust enough to address industry-recognized threats to the data the project manager manages. Previously, we have already identified and understand the impact it has on an individual. And now, I'll give you a bonus, and we'll focus on the impact it has on a company. Do take note that this is a bonus content. As an individual, the reputation damage will be there for the company as well. People will start to question the individual and how the individual is being trained by the company. In Singapore, if company data is being leaked out, they'll be fined by the Data Privacy Commission. And right now, a DPO, Data Protection Officer, must be assigned to all Singapore companies. The DPO will be faced with questioning and need to bear the consequences. There will be fine and due terms as well. The company name will be published online as well. The reason to publish this company online is to shame the company and also use them to educate other companies, as this will be the case study. So it's pretty serious over here. The damage to the company's reputation will affect the confidence of the stakeholder. Stakeholders will panic and would like to know the reason behind such leakage of information. They will start to gather information and question top management. A lot of times and effort will be needed to investigate the incident and might result in a lot of work to be carried out to manage the incident. When stakeholders lose their confidence with the top management team, they will either pull away or pull out from the company or change the leadership team. And many times, when stakeholder leaves the company, it will be tougher for the company to gain support from other stakeholders and result in cash flow issue. When the company is in the news, you'll catch the attention of the media. When I mention media, I'm not just referring to your daily news on TV or on the paper. There are also industry social medias, magazine, and forum targets just for the industry only. Having such prolonged negative media attention will result in your competitors using it to target you and trying to win some customers. They will also start to headhunt your company staff and making sure you are being hit as well. So, as a project manager, it's very important to ensure the data privacy of your company or the projects you are holding on is safe and sound. Now, we will take a look at another financial issue. when there's a data privacy breach, the company will need to spend money to investigate the breach. Spending money is one thing. They still need to pay the fine by the authority. The damage caused to the person whose data is leaked out, or the staff whose data is being leaked out. After settling all this, they will need to take out the budgets to implement a solutions to fix the breach. If they are on a risk transfer strategy, there will be cyber insurance to protect the data. But if there's a breach and company is thinking of carry out a risk transfer strategy, the cost for the insurance will be higher and lesser insurance company will express interest to offer their insurance premium to these companies. This will result in more steps to be carried out by the company and require more planning and understanding of the situation. Productivity will also decrease over time, and insignificant resource will be spent as well. For any project director or project manager, what is needed is an environment where protecting employees and clients' privacy is top of the mind for every new projects or programs. And also to look out for significant changes to an existing business or IT program. And every employee, whenever handling personal information, it's not the duty of the project director or project manager to ensure that everybody involved in the project is trained in handling data privacy. But they must remind the personnel involved about data privacy and always ensure data privacy is closely kept track of. If anyone is doing anything that will harm the project delivery, the project manager must come in and redirect to project success. For them to do that, they need to have the knowledge and know-how to ensure the total success of the projects and to balance between data privacy. In the later part of this discussion, I'll give you a little bonus and share how making data privacy and cybersecurity in place will be able to create profit for your projects and the company. So do look out for the bonus. As a principal consultant, I work with numerous MNC, multinational companies, project teams, and all of them agree that without having a basic understanding of cybersecurity and data privacy will result in issues that they will have to deal with and sometimes will result in project loss. For example, I work with a project director, assuming the vendor quotations covers all aspects of the customer's cybersecurity requirements. But the vendor missed out on a few of the requirements. Once the project is awarded, there's no way to go back to the customers and negotiate for a higher budget. In the end, the project went into a negative revenue for the project's director's company, and their vendors have to help LD, liable damage, for missing the timeline and the requirements. In the end, the project director was asked to leave as the company project was not managed properly. There are 5 areas on security which the IT project manager need to assess and take note when they are dealing with IT projects or any other kind of projects. The 5 areas are very important and the other G's for today's sharing. First, privacy. Second, compliance. Third, application security. Fourth, network and system security. And finally, physical security. When conducting customer support, it is important to know that your vendor has strict policies on how to verify your identity and help you access your account. as well as how and when they can access your data. It is always good to ask vendors to share their policies around escalations, management, knowledge sharing, risk management, and day-to-day operations. These have strict policies in place to limit access to customer data to employees with job-related needs. The weakness of the chain is always a human being. Even if your team is well trained, you do not want to bear the responsibility of being held ransom if the weakest link is from the customer's end. So towards our vendor, their policy should also allow you to dictate when and how they see your data. If you find their basic policy do not match your cybersecurity requirements for sensitive information, also highlight to them. Or have a written policy guiding your projects. The project manager's main focus is to manage the projects. Setting the policy at the start of the projects will ensure the project manager will be covered and allow the project manager to focus on the projects and to meet the timeline. There are security compliance standards that companies and vendors should adhere and look into. These include ISO 27001 standards. Today, we are focusing on ISO 27001 because it's a cybersecurity related standards. And ISO 27001 certifications demonstrates that the vendor has complete cybersecurity framework and a risk-based approach to managing information security. ISO 27001 is the only internationally recognized standards for the establishments and certifications of an information security management system. In short, they call it the ISMS. Always check that the project you're handling does not require such standards. If the project does cover these certifications, you need to be on a higher alert. It implies that your company is already holding on to these certifications and prove to have knowledge on standards before they take out this project. So you have to fulfill and uphold these standards as well. Application security. An IT project manager needs to manage a lot of applications. These include human resource applications like your team leaves and schedule, and also project management software. A lot of time when you are dealing with an external project, you might need to use their project management software to keep track of your project timeline. Having the understanding and ability to share the best practices for this application software will add value to your presence anywhere. Application security comprises all the features between the applications that help ensure your project data stays safe. These features fall into 5 categories: user authentications, data sharing and role-based access control, monitoring users' activities, project management software data encryptions, and lastly, mobile applications. User authentications. Your chosen project's management software should support multi-methods of authentications, including Google OpenID, Azure, Office 365, ADFS, SSO, and SAML2. This process enables employees to securely access your software without having to use a second separate login and password. Other authentication features to look for are customizable password security settings and two-step verifications. Between the password settings, of your project management software, you should be able to customize the following. First, password strength setting, such as maximum and minimum password length. Not knowing and not allowing password to include the user's first or last name, the number and type of characters to be used. Second, set an expiry date for your password, indicating how often users need to change their passwords. The best will be to change every month, but industrial best practice will be every 3 months or a quarter. Lastly, password history settings to indicate how often a user can reuse the same password after they make a change, or the same password cannot be used anymore. Two-step verifications, also called two-factor authentications or 2FA, provides an additional layer of security to the sign-in process. In addition to a username and password, you have to enter a time-sensitive verification code to gain access. If some of your teammates are using applications that do not natively support two-step verifications, make sure your software supports using one-time passwords instead. Otherwise, those users will find themselves being locked out. Your project management software should also allow you to use network access policy settings to add IP or approve IP addresses and IP subnets for additional application security. With this feature enabled, users can only log in and access your software from those locations. If you're a remote user, make sure you select a tool that allows them for mobile users and other platforms to log in and access from any IP address. As an IP project manager, you will need to be familiar with all these terms. Next, we look at data sharing and role-based access control. Data sharing and role-based access identify who can access what data between project management software. A project administrator should be able to assign different roles and permissions level to each user to control what they can read or edit. These functions allows you to set up selective sharing between the software. These abilities ensures that sensitive information can only be accessible by those who need it, and not everyone who has software access. You can also offer guest reviewer capabilities that allow external stakeholders to provide feedbacks and approval. The benefit of this is that feedbacks on client submissions can be provided directly on the documents, while you maintain control of third-party permissions. Another data sharing security function is invitation settings. Invitation settings allows you to control who can invite new users to use the software. You can also limit who can send an invite. For instance, you can request that invites have a specific email domain. Plus, you can determine what kind of license users can grant when they invite someone. Okay, now we'll be talking about monitoring users' activities and also reporting. Even with user authentications and restricted data sharings, it's also important that you can monitor what is occurring between the software regularly. Look for project management software that provides full reporting functions with up-to-date accounts activities information, including authentications events, changes in authorizations and access controls, share folders and tasks, and other security activities. Access reports enable you to see which users have access to folders, projects, and tasks. They can also show you any tasks with attachments that external guest users have been invited to review. Now we will come to project management software data encryptions. Your project management software should use minimum encryptions or transport layer TLS 1.2 with a preferred AES 256-bit logarithm. While this sounds complex, all it means that when you access your data via a web browser, mobile applications, email add-in, or browser extensions, the TLS technology protects your information using both server authentications and data encryption technology. This level of encryption is equivalent to network security methods used in banking and leading e-commerce sites. All users' passwords, cookies, and sensitive information are protected from electronics eavesdropping. User files uploaded to servers both by web applications and API are automatically encrypted with AES 256 using pre-var keys. The encryption keys should be stored by a vendor in a secure key vault, which is a separate database decoupled from the file storage layer. With these encryptions, even if someone were to gain physical access to the file storage, your data will be impossible to read. Finally, will be mobile applications. It's important to have mobile access to your project management software so that your team can access it no matter where they are. However, mobile applications come with security concerns. Any mobile applications should have all the security functionalities built into your project management software, such as password and data sharing restrictions. Plus, mobile applications need additional security functions, such as encryptions at rest, certificate pinning, checking against root jailbreak devices, and application layer protection using a PIN code or fingerprint. Now, we'll talk about network and system security. Network protection procedures such as network segregations using VLANs, firewall and router technologies, intrusion detections and prevention systems, centralized log aggregations and alert mechanisms should be standards for your software provider. All these systems should be monitored by dedicated and experienced security teams. You also want a project management software provider that ensure security connectivity, including secure channels and multi-factor authentication, schemes for systems operations group personnel. These precautions allows your provider to prevent, detect, and promptly re-mitigate the impact of some network attacks if they do occur. Look for software that has a documented process of regular updates and patch management. You should also ask how frequently the vendor performs internal network security audits, so they can easily spot and fix any dangers or vulnerabilities. When it comes to data security, a quick and proven response is the difference between danger and disaster. Uptime is a time during which a computer is operational, meaning that no key functions are unavailable, and is one of the many useful ways to assess a provider infrastructure security. Uptime means a company is stable, secure, and experienced in delivering of customer-facing services. Ask what the vendor uptime is to determine their security, reliability, and look for ones with a historical proven records of 99.9% uptime or higher. Finally, we have come to physical security. Physical security encompasses where and how your data is stored. Different states and countries have very specific data security compliance laws. If you are operating in the different states, locations, or countries, then the one storing your data. The security laws where you store your data might not align with your needs or requirements and legal commitments to your customers. It is important to ask where the project management software company stores its data and make sure the security standards at the storage facilities are up to date and independently verified. You should also ask about the physical security of the facilities. For instance, do they have 24/7 man security, power backup systems, physical access controls, smoke and fire alarms, and any digital surveillance systems in place? Another aspect of physical security is how often your data is backed up. If a server crashes or a breach occurs, you want to know your data won't be lost. Look for project management software vendors that provides near real-time replications. These features will enable and ensure your data is backed up and available on redundant sites and servers. A full backup should be performed daily, and that the data should be stored encrypted in an environment physically separated from the primary servers to ensure fault tolerance. Do all these measures sound tough to you? Unfortunately, as an IT project manager, you will need to gear yourself up with this knowledge to better perform your job and excel in it. I work with many project managers and project directors with PMP certifications. Project Management Professional Certifications, also known as PMP, is a designation given by the Project Management Institute, PMI, to professionals who met certain educations and experience criteria. There are many requirements that professionals must meet before they can apply for that certifications. And below are 10 of the common data security measures which they indicate is a must for their fellow project manager to know. From ransom to cyber espionage, hackers have developed sophisticated technologies to break into your project data and get away with critical information. Even well-known companies such as Amazon has fallen victims to large data losses. A data breach can be disastrous for your projects, destroying the trust in your business and spoiling your company brand name. If you want to learn more about data privacy and data protections, do reach out to me personally and I'll update you with the latest attacks and procedures. Now, we'll go through the top 10 data security measures every project manager must implement. First, invest in an antivirus. Install a trusted antivirus to protect your project data from a variety of security threats, such as viruses, trojans, malware, spyware, and worms. Free solutions can only provide basic security. Invest in a reliable premium solutions that not only protects your data, but also allow your employees to securely browse the web and use emails. Ensure that the antivirus also provides real-time scanning to block any intrusion attempts as they happen. And for company level, it's good to have an antivirus with a portal for reporting. So it's a lot easier to trace and report your weekly or monthly threats. Backup your data regularly will be the next topic we'll look into. If you don't back up your data, then you risk losing it. Ensure that you back up your data frequently so you can restore it quickly in case it is hacked. Make copies of your data and store it in cloud storage solutions like Google Cloud, Dropbox, or Box.net. It will also ensure that your project runs smoothly in case of infrastructure failures, such as laptop crashes or network issue. Schedule regular backup of your data so you don't have to regret it later. Third, use a firewall. A firewall is one of the best ways to protect your network. It secures your projects by allowing you to control the internal and external traffics coming in and going out of your network. Start by installing a reputable firewall to manage data access and permissions. The key is to create multi-layers of security that makes it difficult for hackers to get in. And you'll ask me, firewall is just a layer of a security guard. It helps to do your filtering of your packages like human traffic coming in and going out of your company. Fourth, use a strong passwords. Do you know that in 93% of data breaches, hackers take less than a minute to break into the target systems? Simple, easy to guess password enables hackers to compromise your systems. According to Microsoft, you should never use personal details and common words spelled backwards in your password. Use passwords that are hard to guess. There are 10 to 12 characters in length and consist of alphabets, numbers, and special characters. Also, do not anyhow store your password. Next, use encryption software. Although laptops, tablets, and mobile have replaced desktop at the workplace, their portability make them vulnerable to being stolen. So use these encryption softwares such as BitLogger to encrypt your devices. It provides 256 bits AES bank level security encryptions for your data. It's already installed on most Windows operating systems and very easy to use. Make sure that employees have not turned it off to speed up their systems. And use a mobile device management. Now will be part 2. Update your software. Many companies avoid updating their software and platforms to save licensing costs and avoid compatibility problems. However, it leaves your business open to security attacks. Ensure that you not only use good software but also update regularly. This will fix numerous bugs and security vulnerabilities that can be exploited by hackers. Most software, operating system, browsers, email clients is set to auto download and install the latest update. But many users turn it off to save bandwidth. And also a lot of system administrators, they turn it off so that they can monitor the patches. Our advice to leave it on to protect your data and to frequently check the patches. Then we have secure mobile devices. Mobile devices have set the standards almost every workplace. BYOD, bring your own device, is very common in many companies. From checking emails to sharing documents to sending chat messages, mobile devices are increasingly being used to store and share sensitive information. Since they are easy to get lost or stolen, it's essential to take mobile security seriously. The best way to secure your mobile devices is to enable their advanced security features such as two-factor authentication, remote wiping, and encryptions. All these you'll need in-depth studies on a tools called MDM, Mobile Device Management. Now we'll look at protecting wireless networks. Whether your team is in a video conference or collaboratively working on a deliverable, People are increasingly depending on wireless networks to get job done. Unfortunately, wireless networks are more susceptible to cyber attacks than wired networks because of their open nature. So you need to be extra careful about securing your wireless networks. Instead of using OWEP, wireless equivalent privacy technology, switch to a more secure WPA2, Wi-Fi protected access to version 2. Also, if possible, add an extra layer of security by using complex PSK pre-shared keys. Watch out for suspicious activities. If your system is compromised, it will immediately show an unusual amount of activities. Set up security alerts to be notified about unauthorized access and data breaches. Monitor key performance indicators of your network using real-time dashboards. Many of these dashboard solutions easily integrate with popular software and tools and allow you to track all your KPIs from one place. It also allows you to pull out weekly or monthly reports for easier reporting. Finally, train your team. It's not enough to build a secure infrastructure. It's equally important to educate your team and your staffs about cybersecurity and data security. Sometimes data breach also happen because employees usually share data, password, and documents. Educate your employees about your security protocols and policy. Also, if possible, conduct role-playing workshops to simulate real-life scenarios. Create awareness using video tutorials and Q&A sections. This will teach them how to use your hardware, software, and data the right way. Also, teach them safe browsing habits so they can avoid external threats such as malicious email, unsafe plugins, and harmful software. This will also train them on how to securely access sensitive information on public Wi-Fi networks. With the rise in cyber attacks, data security has becoming more important than ever. A data breach can compromise your projects and prevent it from being a success. It can destroy your team's hard work and allow competitors to steal your data. The above steps will help you create a multi-layer security system that not only safeguards your project, but also allows you to identify, prevent, and eliminate the risk of cyber attacks. As a bonus and interesting sharing, I'll be sharing how making data privacy and cybersecurity in place will be able to create profit for your project and company. There are 5 reasons how you'll bring profit to your company. It will preserve your reputations. It will ensure your company is protected from reputational damage or loss of trust. As we shared in the earlier parts of this sharing, the fine by the authority is no joking matters and can result in the company going bankrupt. Also, the loss of trust from your customers, your company stakeholders, and your customer staffs is no joking matter as well. No project manager will want to incur a data privacy fine and result the failure of the projects in their hand. Understand the importance of data privacy and the 10 steps on how to ensure data security is implemented will help to identify data problems early. It will help to save the project from incurring investigation costs when there's a breach, setting up new measures to protect the existing environment, and also implement a risk transfer policy. Buying a risk transfer policy like cyber insurance after incidents happen will result in a higher cost for the company. Finding issues and fix them quickly will help to reduce and save on the overall costs. Having a data protection trust mark will be the best practice and the best way to achieve any data privacy in the company. This data protection trust mark will help to improve the morale of the staff. To achieve such trust mark, the company ensures data privacy is in place for their new staff and recap of such knowledge on their existing staff. Sometimes, staff will feel proud in working in such company, and with such well-established achievements, morale will affect the work productivity of the projects. With a high morale, work will be completed with a better quality as well. Data protection trust mark will also help to avoid litigations. It minimizes the chance of consumer or staff litigations. In a corporate life, I've seen companies being awarded projects just because they have such a trust marks. Just like a customer will trust your project manager if he's a PMP, Project Management Professional Certified. Lastly, as we keep mentioning, the fine by authority is no joke. Having awareness of data privacy in place will allow the project manager to ensure and provide the project team of a higher of project success and minimizes the chance of getting fined by the authority. Privacy is a growing sector that's now being spotlighted. Learning and getting yourself to be a CDPSC, Certified Data Privacy Solution Engineer, will give you a more holistic view of your customers and gain useful customer insights while learning and retaining customer trust to boost productivity and profitability and ensure good data privacy in place. Becoming part of the solutions to implement a successful and comprehensive privacy programs in your projects and company. Holding these certifications validates your experience and ability to build and implement comprehensive privacy solutions, bridging the gaps between data scientists, analysts, privacy technologies, and legal compliance professionals. CDPSC holders can facilitate a common understanding of privacy best practices throughout the company to ensure the proper integrations of privacy solutions that mitigates risks while ensuring an optimum end-user experience. IT project managers are encouraged to go for these certifications as it showcases your technical expertise and validates your understandings and abilities to implement privacy-enhanced design, working across functional with legal, policies, engineers, software developers, and back-end and front-end experts. This is one of the gold-plated privacy certifications that is experience-based and require certifications holders to maintain and add to their knowledge. This is more of a data privacy certifications and not cybersecurity certifications. Another certifications that's good for IT project managers to have will be CIPM, Certified Information Privacy Manager by IAPP. IAPP also refers to International Associations of Privacy Professionals. IAPP is a resource for professionals who want to develop and enhance their career by helping their companies successfully manage the risks and protect their data. IAPP refers to only the place that brings together the people, tools, and global information management practices you need to thrive in today's rapid evolving information economy. An IT project manager can make a difference in his company and his career. The CIPM destination says that he is a leader in privacy programs, administrations, and that he has the knowledge to establish, maintain, and manage a privacy programs across all stages of his life cycle. Having the operational ability to turn policies into programs. Make data privacy regulations work for a company by understanding how to implement them in day-to-day operations. Learn to create a company visions. Structure a data protection team. Develop and implement system frameworks. Communicate to stakeholders. Measure performance and more. To assist busy professionals like you, I've come up with summary slides. They'll be able to double-check our understandings. Data privacy will be the password and the key for all these weeks. The most important message will be protecting employees and clients' privacy will be the top of the mind for all project managers. Data privacy is important and is a must for all. Privacy matters and will matter to individuals and companies as it involves compliance and legal risks. Taking notes and be ensured that every data counts. And finally, the reputational and political damage can be significant. Always remember, the fine by the authority is something to note as well. We have also go through the top 5 security concerns: privacy, compliance, application security, network and system securities, and lastly, physical securities. And the most important thing is that data protections can help to reduce project costs by preserve your reputations, identify data problems early, improve the morale of the companies, avoid litigations, and avoid the fines by the authority. Finally, to go into data privacy industry, there will be 2 certifications that you can go for. First will be CDPSC, Certified Data Privacy Solution Engineer by ISACA. And next will be CIPM, Certified Information Privacy Manager by IAPP. If you would ask me, I'll say that CDPSC will be of a more difficult exam. Now, we'll be having 2 questions to confirm our understanding of our data privacy topic. The first question will be, which is the best steps in understanding the data security practices of a potential vendor? There will be 4 options. Option A, requiring the vendor to complete a questionnaire, assessing International Organizations of Standards ISO 27001 compliance. Option B, conduct a physical audit of the vendor facilities. Option C, conducting a penetration test of the vendor's data center structure. And finally, option D, examining investigations records of any breach the vendor have experienced. Are you able to get the right answer? The correct answer will be option D. Option A does not make sense. If a company is already ISO certified, no questionnaire will be required. All we need to do is that to verify they are still ISO valid and it's not expired. Option B and C should be carried out before you award the contract or go into any agreement or arrangement with the vendor. This to check their cybersecurity or physical security protection, not so much on data privacy. So option D is the most logical answer. Next and the last questions for today. Regarding the collections of personal data conducted by an organization, what must the data subjects be allowed to do? This is very technical and you must have gone through the course to get the answer. I'm sharing this question so we have a feel on how a professional questions about data privacy will look like in a professional exams. There are 4 options for us. Option A, evaluate the qualifications of a third-party processors before any data is transferred to that processor. Option B, obtain a guarantee of a prompt notifications in instance involving unauthorized access of the data. Option C, set a time limit as to how long the personal data may be stored by the organizations. Option D, challenge the authenticity of the personal data and have it corrected if needed. The answer to these 10 questions will be option C. The time frame to store the data must be indicated during the collections of data. Besides the time frame, the usage of data must be indicated as well. Thank you for your time and interest in finding out and the support to find out more about data privacy. The eagerness to learn and gear oneself up to be a professional may be tiring at the start. But do not give up and keep the determination going. You will be able to reach there one fine day. If you still find any missing gaps or need to recap your understanding to review the topics, do so by replaying the video. I'll see you soon in the next sharing.